Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to the Midday News. The news is live on Joy 99.7 FM here in Accra and Kumasi. We are on Love 99.5 FM affiliates across Ghana's 16 regions. We are on Ganga FM in Jira, Fafa Radio in Joje, Radio Justice in Tamale, A1 Radio in Bolgatanga. We are live on X Spaces. We are on Facebook. We are on myjoyonline.com. The Midday News is sponsored by Petrol Sol, your clean fuel in full quantity. Petrol Sol is always a delightful experience. Also brought to you by Dura Plus Ghana Limited, producers of quality PVC and HDPE pipes and water tank. We are the only water storage tank with a level indicator, and where Dura Plus goes, water always flows. This afternoon, civil society organizations, pressure groups, and the NDC raised concerns about President Akufo-Addo's loud silence on critical national issues like Galamsey, corruption, and unemployment in his address on the state of the affairs of the country.
Decided to play it low on the issue of anti-corruption, but that is a one that we think is unfortunate.
The statement the president read was not the state of Ghana's address. Look, what is the biggest problem confronting us today? Tell me. Is it joblessness? Is it high unemployment?
We have details this afternoon also.
Yes, it's a season. If you want to be a flag bearer, you go around and campaign. Applies to running mate. So a lot of people are interested. This is our season. We'll be consulted. They have to call us and speak to us so that we arrive at the best choice.
NDC's National Executive Committee to deliberate on names of potential partners of flag bearer John Dramani Mahama in the December presidential elections.
But who told you that when you are lobbying somebody, you carry money along to go and lobby the people?
It's become normal with the kind of politics we practice in this country.
No, in NDC you lobby, you speak to individuals, you sell your visions. You have to carry your CV in your bag.
We have details as the party says the ideal partner will send shockwaves and also take you through the leading names making the rounds. Also this afternoon, the Public Utilities and Regulatory Commission breaks down reasons for reduction in electricity tariff for upscale consumers and why water tariffs saw no adjustment.
The inflation rate has also dropped, so all these parameters have seen a downward trend. The gas price that we used the last time has not changed from the one that we are using now. So these factors have aided the tariff to be reduced.
And their sports.
Black Queens coach Nara Hopsel retains optimism ahead of today's encounter with Zambia.
And much later, displaced squatters, mostly Liberian refugees, occupy classrooms after demolition by Gomoa Fete Traditional Authority.
See my machine outside. No notification. Just daybreak, they say they're coming to break our places. So nowhere to go.
Don't know if na ground asleep, God make I wake up. Then if I not wake up, I tell God thank you.
We have that and more in this afternoon's edition of the Midday News. I am Emefa Apawu, and this is your home of independent, fearless, and credible journalism. Please do stay on for details. Many thanks for your company. And this afternoon, civil society organizations and pressure groups are raising concerns over President Akufo-Addo's silence on some critical national issues that have dominated the national conversation but did not feature in his address on the State of the Nation yesterday. Important national issues like illegal mining, which we call Galamsey, corruption and unemployment were not mentioned in the president's speech. Maxwell Ogbegba has more.
In his penultimate address on the State of the Nation, some Ghanaians say President Akufo-Addo's speech was notable for its omissions rather than its inclusions. Despite the pressing issues of Galamsey, corruption and unemployment dominating public discourse, the president's speech did not address these concerns. Galamsey, particularly highlighted by Joy News Erastus Asaidonko's documentary Poison for Gold, remains a critical issue destroying Ghana's water bodies and environment. Some Ghanaians say the president's silence on this matter raises questions about the government's commitment to combating illegal mining activities. Some Ghanaians are also raising concerns about the president's silence on corruption. Corruption scandals such as the Cecilia Dapa $1 million scandal have shaken public trust in governance, yet the president's speech notably omitted any mention of corruption, disappointed many citizens. Executive Director of the Ghana Integrity Initiative, Mary Ada, expressed her disappointment, indicating that while unsurprising, the lack of acknowledgement is troubling.
It's actually not surprising that the president didn't speak to the issue of corruption in his SONA. We have observed over the years that this has become a permanent feature It's also because perhaps we demand accountability when he makes some of the statements during the SONA. We all know that, and we put him in office as an anti-corruption campaigner who was coming to do a lot of work for us. However, as it became evident that the government that he superintends over was very much as similar to others in the past, he gradually decided, perhaps maybe the script writers decided to play it low on the issue of anti-corruption. But that is a one that we think is unfortunate.
National Communications Director of the NDC, Sami Jemfi, criticized the president for his perceived lack of commitment to tackling corruption. That, he said, was evident in his presentation yesterday.
The statement the president read was not the state of Ghana's address. Look, what is the biggest problem confronting us today? Tell me. Is it joblessness? Is it high unemployment?
That's my colleague Maxwell Agbagba's report. Well, let's get reactions to this. You've been hearing from some anti-corruption crusaders on this, but the key issue is also the issue about illegal mining and the fight against Galamsey. Let me bring in a member of the Coalition Against Galamsey. Also, he's Executive Director, Alliance for Christian Advocacy Africa, Reverend Dr. Opuni Frimpong. We're grateful for your time here on the Midday News. So really, is it a matter of concern? Should we really be worried that the president did not highlight the issue of Galamsey, corruption amongst others? Could it not be that we may have won the fight against these areas, or in these areas, for which reason he did not mention them?
Yeah, Emefa, let me say good afternoon to you, your team, and your listeners. Let us admit that within the period that the president was at the Parliament House, it wouldn't be possible for him to address every national issue. In that case, if that's the reason for not addressing some of the issues raised, especially the Galamsey, we can stretch our patience because we have several other occasions. But to say that if he's not commenting, it may suggest that we are doing well, we have won the battle. I'm sorry, I don't think it doesn't reflect the reality on the ground. Especially when the president was entering office, one of his initial statements that was a source of encouragement was that he put his presidency on the line for the Galamsey fight. And I remember when the coalition you mentioned with the media, when we started this Galamsey, the encouragement he gave to us, and the amount of effort, money that this country has put in military people, if while he's about to leave office, we can't get a serious report, not just a political thing, but realities on the ground, that the issue has changed, that people can now drink to drip, has changed. It's a worry, and I pray and hope with the several opportunities ahead of him, at least Galamsey, and the same with corruption. But the Galamsey that he promised us, he put his presidency on the line. The president must still consider that as a priority area and maybe take another opportunity to address this nation.
But if it's really a priority area for the president in terms of the fight against illegal mining and corruption, how is it that it did not find space in an important address like the State of the Nation? Which other forum will be more important to address these issues than the State of the Nation address?
Emefa, we may give him the benefit of the doubt. He did yesterday's work. And with the sentiments being expressed, your reporter on the ground, and other, people are talking that, President, you are about to leave office. And what is your own evaluation? What is your own reflection on Galamsey, especially, and also corruption? Now, at least with the public sentiment, I pray and hope whoever is listening to Joy FM at this moment will draw the president and presidency's attention that Ghanaians still want to hear you. We heard you yesterday. But beyond all the nice issues you raised, there are years that are waiting to hear you on Galamsey as you are about to go through your last year and corrupt it. At least, why have we not been able to change the colors of our water? Why can't the people around Brim including Achim people, drink brim at this moment. The president can tell us something, project into the future what we need to do differently.
We are grateful for your time. That's Reverend Dr. Opuni Frimpong, is a key member of the Coalition Against Illegal Mining, also the Executive Director, Alliance for Christian Advocacy Africa. It's time for fact-checking, and let's fact-check some of the claims made by President Akufo-Addo, plus the Minority Leader, Dr. Kesa Lato-Forson, at yesterday's State of the Nation address. We are focusing on some of the claims made by President Akufo-Addo and Minority Leader. And Raymond Akwa, head of our research desk, joins me in studio with details on the claims and the verdict. So first, Raymond, let's talk about President Akufo-Addo's claim on the macroeconomic situation in the country.
Gross international reserves reflected a significant buildup of over 5.9 billion United States dollars, enough to cover 2.7 months of import of goods and services.
This is true, and the fact that the January 2024 release summary of macroeconomic and financial data by the Bank of Ghana confirmed this at page 7. Stating that the GIR for December 2023 was indeed 5.9 billion with an import cover of 2.7 months.
Well, now let's turn our attention to the specific claims on the economic growth rate.
Real GDP growth for the first 3 quarters of 2023 averaged 2.8%, higher than the targeted growth rate of 1.5% for 2023.
And the verdict?
This is also true because we know that the growth rate for quarter 1 was 3.3, that of quarter 2 was 3.2, and the final quarter, that is quarter 3, was 2.0. That's an average of 2.8 anyway.
Okay.
And of course, we also projected that we're going to do 1.5 for the year 2023.
And now let's turn our attention to the claims made by the Minority Leader on the number of people in employment.
Out of 33 million population, only 11.3 million are employed.
And the verdict?
Let's do it this way. The claim that 11.636 million are employed is true, as confirmed by the quarter 3 figures of the GSS labor statistics. But Emefa, let's look at it this way. It is, however, misleading to say this is out of a 33 million population, because the definition of employment considers only those above the age 15 years. And that takes out a chunk of that population. So it's not out of 33 million population. It's only those above 15 that has the number 11.36 million being employed.
So that statement is partly true and partly false.
It's misleading to say that it's out of 33 million.
Yeah. Okay, now how about his claim on persons outside the labor force?
4.5 million Ghanaians plus, employable Ghanaians plus, are outside the labor force. So this simply means that this number have simply given up on their search for jobs because of years of frustration and disappointment.
Verdict?
That headline figure of 4.51 is also backed by that survey. The survey is the Ghana Annual Household Income and Expenditure Survey. Of course, it sees that 4.5 million, but that report specifically has a definition for outside the labor force. Indeed, 15 years and older who are neither employed or unemployed. They are neither working nor available during the reference period. There is a variety of reasons why some individuals not participate in the labor force. It is not only because they are frustrated and they are staying at home. Indeed, the biggest reason is because they are in school.
Okay.
There are other reasons, or they are sick or they are disabled. There are also other reasons like they are retired. So it's partly true. That's the 4.51. But it's not true that the main reason why they are out of the labor force is because they are frustrated. There are a plethora of other reasons why they are actually not on the labor force.
Thank you very much. Raymond Nakwa is the head of our research desk. Watch what you say, because the team will be fact-checking it. Let's go ahead into the election headquarters now, made possible by Petrosol, your clean fuel in full quantity, and flag bearer of the NDC, John Mahama, has presented names for consideration by the National Executive Committee and Council of Elders of the party to partner with him for the December presidential election. The decision of the two bodies will bring finality to the choice of the running mate at a meeting scheduled for March 7. Well, this has opened the door for lobbying by persons interested in the job. Deputy General Secretary of the party, Mustafa Gbande, tells my colleague Elton Brobe on the pulse that they are ready to listen to those penciled for the job.
Well, voting and processes of voting at meetings has always been part of the NDC's custom as far as meetings are concerned. If it becomes necessary at any level of the party, either at the level of Council of Elders or at the level of the National Executive Committee, that a vote should be cast in order to arrive at a decision, that process will surely be tabled by the General Secretary and the National Chairman, and it will be done.
That doesn't just put so much pressure on the flag bearer, John Dramani Mahama, knowing very well that with this announcement out, those who are very interested in partnering him will scale up their lobbying skills.
Why don't you see that as an opportunity for other people to lobby with the executives for that opportunity, slot?
The same way.
Yeah, so yes, it's a season. If you want to be a flag bearer, you go around and campaign. Applies to running mate. So a lot of people are interested. This is our season. We'll be consulted. They have to call us and speak to us so that we arrive at the best choice.
Well, that's Deputy General Secretary of the NDC, Mustafa Gbande, there speaking to Elton Brobe. And Elton is in the studios with me. He's a lead member of our political desk here at Joy News. And let's talk about the names making the rounds as we're hearing.
So before we understand that Toby Afede, a group was lobbying for him. Mm-hmm. Now, last week we got a statement from the STU that he is ready to play any role assigned him in the interest of developing the country, but he has not sanctioned any group to lobby on his behalf.
Okay, so that statement was from the Asogli state itself.
Exactly. But the statement did not say whether he is interested or not. They said that he has not sanctioned anybody to lobby on his behalf. But names we are picking includes Julius Debra, who usually is seen with the former president. Even yesterday he was with him when he appeared in Parliament for the State of the Nation address. Also, Dr. Nimwe Thompson, he was instrumental in the 40-year development plan when the NDC was in power. Also, the Member of Parliament for Asunafo, Eric Opoku, the current ranking member.
And we had his chiefs also lobbying
exactly,
the former president.
From the BA region. And then lately, Police Commissioner retired Nathan Kofi Boachem. The name that I picked last night, that is also making rounds, and this is coming from people who are very loyal to the late former President Jerry Rawlings, is the daughter, a Member of Parliament for Zaneto Ajiman Rawlings. So these are the names that we are picking. But we also do understand that the former running mate, Professor Jenano Pokwajiman, is in the lead. And in fact, we put this post on our social media channel. The NDC is set to consider the nomination of the running mate for 2024. Do we expect the party to retain Professor Nana Jeno Pokwajiman? So far, out of the 1,000 people who voted, 53% are of the view that she should be retained. 37% says no.
Okay. Well, so what will happen on the day of the announcement? What are we expecting to happen?
According to the Deputy General Secretary, it's likely that because several names have been put before them, they may go into a voting session to determine who is best suited for the role. And that's what will happen on Thursday, March 7.
There are a number of individuals whose names have been shortlisted under consideration. And so within the filtration system and consultation, a name will emerge. Various groups will look at it and make inputs. Then afterwards, one person will be selected and settled on to pair the president. Surely, this slot is reserved for an individual who will complement to the vision of the president.
So does it mean that the final decision on the running mate will be a decision taken by council rather than what we've been made to believe that it is always the choice of the flag bearer?
Well, the choice of the flag bearer is right, but it has to go through the rank and file of the party to ensure that the party structures make inputs as to who is best suited for the season and the time that we are in. Can the president complement the president in the difficult times that we are in, given the way this economy has been mismanaged?
That's Deputy General Secretary of the NDC, Mustafa Gbande, there interacting with Elton Brobe on the Pulse. There's more of that also on myjoyonline.com and taking us out of the election headquarters, made possible by Petrosol, your clean fuel in full quantity. You're still listening to the Midday News here on Joy 99.7 FM, and the Public Utilities and Regulatory Commission has made some adjustments in electricity tariffs. For those consuming over 300 kilowatts, a reduction has been announced by 6.5%. Reductions were also given to industrial industrial consumers by 4.88%, and non-residential consumers, they are getting 4.98%. There will, however, be no change in the tariff for lifeline consumers. PRC attributes the various reductions to improved inflation and exchange rates, as well as stability in fuel prices. Director of Research and Corporate Affairs, Dr. Richard Obute, breaks it down in an interview with my colleague Kenneth JC on News Desk.
The quarterly tariff reviews are hinged on four figures. Basically, the exchange rate, the inflation, the generation mix, and the fuel price. Okay. The last time we did the tariff, the exchange rate, and if you look at the generation mix, we used 32% for hydro and then 68% for thermal. Now, this time round, we're using 35% hydro and 65% thermal. The inflation rate has also dropped. The last time we used about 40% for inflation. The gas price that we used the last time has not changed from the one that we are using now. So these factors have aided the tariff to be reduced.
What is peculiar is that you did not, effect the same reduction for lifeline consumers.
Well, for lifeline consumers, you should be consuming between 0 and 30 kilowatt hours.
Well, Dr. Obute explains why water tariffs weren't affected.
Actually, electricity is what sometimes drives the water tariffs. So the electricity pricing actually has had some positive impact on the water tariffs. But the water tariffs, really, the last time we already gave an adjustment of 1.18% in the last tariff that we did. So this time round, from all our computations, the water tariffs will maintain the same rate as they are. It will still be the same the next quarter, but until maybe factors change again, then we'll see how maybe it will impact on the water tariffs. But from the 1st of April, the rates we pay now will still be the same rates we pay from the 1st of April in the case of water.
That's Director of Research and Corporate Affairs at PURC, Dr. Richard Obute there. Let me bring in Corporate Affairs Director for the Electricity Company of Ghana, Leila Abubakar. Thank you so much for your time here on the Midday News. So I'm wondering, how did the Electricity Company collaborate in determining the tariff adjustments and ensuring fairness to consumers as well?
Thank you very much. Good afternoon to your listeners. Usually what happens is that the PURC invites us around the table to actually investigate the cost of our production. When I say production, it means distribution to our customers. And so it's the information we give them with regards to the cost of our operations that they factor in, amongst other things.
But generally, would you say you're happy with the final product or the final announcement from the PRC?
I will say yes and no. Yes, because this brings a general relief on our customers, but no, because our incomes and our revenues also depend on this, and so it means that we are also going to look at a reduction in our revenues at the end of our collection.
Is it going to impact revenue streams overall, you'd say?
Well, from the mathematics, that's what we should expect. But then since we also make money through other non-energy, maybe we might be able to make up. And we've been steadily increasing our revenues, and so hopefully it shouldn't be so turbulent on our side.
And I'm wondering, I slept in darkness last night. What happened?
I wouldn't be able to answer because I don't know where you live, unfortunately.
And unfortunately, it was general as well. A lot more people are complaining about that as well.
I didn't sleep in darkness.
Okay, good for you. Thank you very much. That's the Corporate Affairs Director of the Electricity Company of Ghana, Leila Abubakar there, taking us on a quick break here on the Midday News, live on Joy 99.7 FM here in Accra, and Kumasi on Love 99.5 FM. Affiliates across Ghana's 16 regions is sponsored by the Petrosol. Your clean fuel in full quantity Petrosol is always a delightful experience. Also brought to you by Duroplus Ghana Limited, producers of quality PVC and HDPE pipes and water tank. We are the only water storage tank with a level indicator, and where Duroplus goes, water always flows. We've been hearing from civil society organizations, pressure groups, and the NDC raise concerns about President Akufo-Addo's loud silence on critical national issues like galamsey, corruption, and unemployment in his address on the State of the Nation. We return from the break with sports and displaced squatters, mostly Liberian refugees, occupying classrooms after demolition by Gomoa Fete Traditional Authority.
See my machine outside. No notification. Just daybreak, they say they're coming to break our places. So nowhere to go.
Don't know if na ground asleep, God make I wake up, then if I not wake up, I tell God thank you.
GoTV is stepping up your entertainment from the 15th of January at no extra cost to you. If you are on GoTV Value, upgrade to GoTV Plus to watch GoTV Max. Already on GoTV Plus? Upgrade to GoTV Max to enjoy GoTV Super. And if you are on GoTV Max, upgrade to GoTV Super to enjoy the best of the best on GoTV Super Plus. Don't wait. Step up your entertainment today. It's on us. GoTV. Love it. T&C Supply.
Dive into a new era of news consumption with myjoyonline.com, your go-to destination for cutting-edge journalism, giving you the most credible stories from business to politics and from sports to entertainment. Myjoyonline.com introduces an upgraded news website meticulously designed to empower you with an enriched browsing experience like never before. Experience the future of news browsing with myjoyonline.com.
When budgets are tight and money difficult to come by, you want to be sure you get the best value for your money. These are not times to be spending money fixing expensive engine problems because of cheap fuel and lubricants. Drive to a petrol source station today and buy your quality fuel and lubricants, and rest assured of fuel that lasts long and lubricants that prevent expensive engine problems. Hear the sound. Petrosol, clean fuel in full quantity.
Thanks for staying with us here on the Midday News. Time for sports. Hello.
Hi, Emefa.
What do we have in sports?
Well, the Black Queens of Ghana are in action later today in Douala in that second leg of the third round Paris 2024 Olympic qualifier against Zambia. Ghana needs to overturn the first leg deficit of 1 goal and win by a goal margin better than 1 or on penalties. Here's head coach Nora Hopto.
And I heard that tomorrow it's going to be a packed stadium, so we like it. We like this crowd, and I hope it will be a big football game tomorrow evening for all of us. So we also have some plans for tomorrow, you will see. But of course, it's our approach to be stable in the game, and we need to score. We are aware of that, and you will see tomorrow on the pitch what our plans are.
You had Black Queens coach Nara Hotwell speaking there.
Achu, thank you so much. Have a good day. Now, the Wa District Court presided by Maxwell Tutriku, Max Brain, has remanded for the second time 7 persons in connection with the gruesome murder of owner of Royal Cozy Hills Hotel, Eric Johnson, for another 2 weeks. Yesterday, the human resource manager of the hotel was also picked up in connection with the murder. We'll bring you details of that in our subsequent bulletins. And displaced squatters, mostly Liberian refugees, have taken over classrooms in Budumburim in the central region following the demolition of their structures by Gomoafete Traditional Authority. Well, a notice to demolish the camp in 2021 was put on hold following intervention by the Refugee Board. But last night, the Assembly started the demolition exercise affecting over 2,000 persons.
We don't know. We have just got a school, or we're going to go to a school. Even when we put the school, they were not so easy. The principal, they all got annoyed, and we said, "Oh, there's nowhere we can go." When crisis come, we look at a church and a school. They will run for safety. They said, "We have come to the school here."
So you discuss?
Yes, of course, yes.
Well, the district chief executive for Gomoa is Solomon Dako Kwam says the demolition was at the instance of the Regional Security Council. We'll get to hear from the DCE shortly on that. Also, there's more on myjoyonline.com. Well, it's time to bring in MNJ, and Jackie is here. What's trending, Jackie?
Well, a lot is trending. You know, Sona 2024 is trending, but not the Sona that we know. This is the State of Nothing address.
Oh, hashtag State of Nothing.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
What are people saying?
You know, Ghanaians on social media have been voicing out things that they were expecting in the Sona that they thought the president didn't highlight. So that is why the hashtag State of Nothing address is trending. And also we have the hashtag Pay FAMD students trending. Okay. So a doctor with the name Dr. George Anagli shared a post on social media, and he says day 242 of going to work as a FAMD house officer with no pay 8 months ago, serving this country feels more like a punishment. So that is trending, and a couple of pharmaceutical doctors have been sharing their concerns about this.
Okay.
Social media.
Well, that's the way social media is talking today. And that's how we wrap up today's edition of the Midday News here on Joy 99.7 FM. There's more when you log on to myjoyonline.com. Government paid over 300 million in judgment debts between 2017 and 2022. That and more stories on myjoyonline.com. Living Word with Pastor Mensa Otabil is up next. Living in Expectancy, episode 6. I am Emefa.